Thank you. Thank you very much tonight. Thank you for being here tonight. I really am really excited to be here at the SAR and been really inspired by the collections, specifically the Hopi collections. And the art is an image of my faith and cultural values I have learned over the years and continue to incorporate my life, my perspective of being Hopi. Okay. During obtaining this fellowship in this stage of my career has been beneficial to my creativity, personal growth, and as an artist to devote my time and energy towards expanding my knowledge of Hopi history and positively influences my work with the School of Advanced Research. In a sense, in a Hopi sense, I believe we are always trying to become the best person we can be, and as a human being. I believe these works really show the essence of my spirituality and my understanding, and in my research, the underlying theme is all my work is the SAR collections that has influenced my work. Connecting to my ancestors through prayer, taking parts in ceremonies, to relating to the land through my work through dry farming, always promoting my knowledge and understanding of what it means to be Hopi. My culture is the main influence that I embody into each piece of work. And these ones are here. These images are here that I really get inspired about. They're usually, their rock carvings or pictographs. In Hopi, we have a lot of these. Some of them represent clan migrations, different ceremonies, just like recording their lives. And that's what I try to do in my art, is to incorporate those type of influences into my art. And respecting the land also. This is from my village of Walby. This picture was taken right after our home dance. It was taken in the evening, and just the essence of it, and the positive vibes all around that day was amazing. So I believe that this photo reflects that point in time in my life. Okay. Universal. In Hopi, we believe that we are connected to our ancestors by praying and regarding the universe. Our ancestors rely on the stars and constellations to guide them during their migrations. In this piece, it relates to that concept, and I witnessed the traditions going on to this very day. In this piece, I really try and incorporate those type of teachings in it. And when I was doing this, I actually donated this piece to the NEU Northern Arizona Cultural Center when it first opened. I actually donated this piece for their silent auction, and this piece was really meaningful to me, in particular with the planets. The planets, I did 9 of them because I wasn't really too sure if Pluto was considered a planet. So, so I kept that in mind. But as far as the influences, it's having like a universal understanding of life, because Hopi, in the Hopi teachings I have learned, it really considers about life and compassion, and how we treat each other, and how we treat the land with respect. And those are some of the kind of learnings I have put into this piece. But it came out really beautiful, though, in person. Ita to our land. Connecting to our land and taking part in the oldest of Hopi traditions, dry farming, has always been our way to survive and thrive. These two particular pieces I have done. Um, this picture is actually from my cornfield when I actually first started producing, started cultivating corn. When I first got land, I was granted land by my uncle, who has been really the source of really me getting to have more responsibilities as a Hopi man because with land comes responsibility, and with land comes with understanding and teachings as well as far as how do you treat the land as far as like your children, because the corn are our children, because we plant the seeds in the Mother Earth, then we wait for 28 days for the plants to come up and greet the sun, and that's kind of the same concept as how we do with our baby namings as well. And this particular piece is called Mother Corn. It's relating to those same concepts as well. I did a theme back in Flagstaff at this gallery called Towns Pendleton. We did a theme about the importance of corn and why it's important to us as far as like the food that you guys ate. That's part of it as well, because it's the food that really is the main source, because we're not just feeding you guys, we're feeding your soul as well. And so with that, all that good positive vibes from kind of like from learning from my Dahas kind of goes essence with the food and with the art also. Planting has been part of our heritage and has been one of many influences I have come to understand. Being granted land has given me the insight and broader understanding of a Hopi man's responsibilities and commitment to this land, to the land and the universe. And so it's kind of the same concept I kind of told earlier. This is one of my Dahas. He's one of our clan elders, I would say. Really knowledgeable in our ceremonies and also our clan history. Also, particularly in this photo, we were actually harvesting my corn. How I planted was I had white corn first because we used the white corn for the food, and we also to name our children, because it represents like the prosperity of how you want your children to become, because you want them to fully mature into whatever they're doing. And so that kind of goes with the farming as well, because you're bringing life into it also as well, because it can also go the other way around. And particularly in this one, it's relating to that concept, because and hopefully we always pray for the moisture, and so I kind of incorporate that. The rainbow right here. The rainbow design, which I incorporated, is it's called, I would say, the Pahikmana headdress design. But particularly with those kind of kachinas, if you look at the headdresses, you see all these type of clouds, like these kind of symbols right here, and those are really old traditional symbols that you see in Hopi. And that's why I incorporated also the design and also the colors, because the colors are what's most important as well. Continuous commitments and compassion. Understanding these types of commitments is about hope, dignity, faith, and everlasting life. At the core, it's respecting the land, the air, the water, Mother Earth. It's all about being critical, conscientious, and compassionate. And these ones are here. This one I did in 2014. It's called Our Children's, Our Prayers. When I was cultivating, learning the different techniques, learning how to take care of it, I put those understandings into this piece. Because when I was there, I would have positive vibes, and sending those vibes into the corn makes it grow stronger, makes it grow faster. It's like you would like sing to them almost, because because of the vibrations of the energy, kind of it stimulates the corn, and so that's what I really try to put into this piece. because the clouds also right here represent they represent the rejuvenous, the rejuvenating of the corn as well, so it can grow, so we can thrive, so we can use it in our ceremonies, the food. We can use it for we can use it for our future purposes. And this one right here, this one I really do like. It was a picture of a Hopi man in the field, and so I really, because that was a powerful statement because of his understanding. Maybe because maybe he hasn't, maybe he's been doing this for a long time and passing on that tradition. And that's how my Tahas passed that knowledge and dry farming and how it relates to life to me. So with those, I really incorporate each and every piece of artwork relating to those types of learnings and experience that I have gone through over the years. Cherishing a new life, we connect to our Father, the Son. We pray for our lives and others. We pray for the world. We pray for our newborns to have long lives. We greet the Son to be introduced into this world. It is where we start our journey through life and carrying on this tradition of becoming Hopi. Being given our Hopi names by our father's clan member is our tradition we celebrate and cherish in a new life, and to be happy and to love. And particularly this piece was our baby naming of my niece. Her name is Lomayumtewa. Her baby name was really significant because in Hopi we really celebrate life and every day. And especially with our newborns, because they're the next generation of our Hopi, and so this photo has my mother holding her, and she's washing her hair. She's washing her hair with the corn, with the mother corn, and so with that, when that's done, you always keep it with you throughout your years, and even to this day, I still have mine, and still mine with me. And we keep that through our whole lives until we pass on to the next into the next world. We would still keep that with us. Blessings. It is very significant for one to be coming into Hopi, bringing into a new life. It is a blessing and celebration for continuing the importance of life. In particular, this piece. So the same thing we're relating to the baby naming, because in the morning, we greet the Son early in the morning, and it's to introduce this new life into the world, our Father, because He's the one that gave us this life long time ago through our ancestors and through now. And so this particular piece is a really powerful statement because it's a powerful statement. It's how we portray our children, how we still continue this tradition to this very day. And this is where the photo was taken was in Palaca, Arizona, and towards this way on this side, you would in the landscape you would see the San Francisco peaks, also known as I think it's Novata Kuya. The mountain. I really do incorporate the mountain, the peaks into my work because I really feel that it holds a spiritual presence because we, as Hopis, we regard that as a sacred place and also like 13 tribes in Arizona as well consider that mountain sacred. And so it kind of goes with that concept as well because I believe that we come from this place and we have to protect it protect it as far as the knowledge, the land, because the land in Flagstaff, particularly this mountain, has had some abuse to it, and so particularly I wanted to embrace it where it can make a powerful statement, because for me it is, because it shows my understanding, the lessons I have learned, because I see these peaks from all over um, my reservation from our mesa to driving to Flagstaff to hiking on it. And so I really incorporate that in a lot of my work, and as far as like the clouds too, because I use the clouds as a symbol for moisture, for life, because everything relates to water. And so I really incorporate that kind of importance into this piece, because how it's styled is a Pahikmana headdress design, because you would really see these type of clouds on them. Some are more intricate than others, and some are more simple. And so that's what I kind of incorporate into those pieces. The circle of life. Throughout this life, we look towards the future. Our children carry and connect to the ancestors through praying, taking part in ceremonies. Our circle of life carries on into the next tradition, our next generation. Particularly this photo right here. This is one of my other nieces. Her name's Alina Montoya. And this is a dance that she was taking part of. It's also the Pahikmana dance. It's like where they dance. They have just about 3 others with her and two boys that dance with them. And for me, this was really interesting, because I felt that that she's carrying on this tradition, even though she may not be knowing it. And as far as like how she's dressed is really what I really get inspired as well, because has a lot of positive energy, a lot of really good vibes. So that's what I incorporate my work into it as well. And so I choose that photo to pin, and this one on the top is kind of like an older photo, because like it shows the next generation of Hopi women to be thriving, because without our women, we would not have our ceremonies, our basically our whole existence, basically, because without them, we don't have the ceremonies, because they take also part in our ceremonies, because they're the backbone of our culture as well, as far as reproducing and being able to learn their traditions, their role, basically they're going to their roles as women, and so I have like all these influences, and putting them into the art is sometimes complicated. Sometimes it really flows when I really get to that point where I want to put where I want to have, as far as like what I want to depict on my art. And so those are some of the influences that I do really take to heart and really try to get inspired by. Continue my knowledge. Continue my knowledge. With these teachings, I continue my knowledge of what it means to be Hopi, what it means to be a Hopi artist. When I come with these traditions and bring their essence to the School of Advanced Research as my contribution and a positive partnership. Focus and inspire the relationships with the Hopi collections. While at the Indian Arts Research Center, I have been focused and inspired, and this has enhanced my creativity to produce during my fellowship, and being granted access to the SAR collection has enabled me to shape my progress and relationship with the Hopi collections. In this photo, I was particularly looking at the pottery collection. I was looking at the technique, the design, the colors, how they all connect to the pieces, and I was really looking at the abstract and abstract technique because like some of them are really intricate than others. Some are more simple than others. So I really was taking the aspect of those designs and incorporating them into the art piece that I was producing here at the SAR. In this particular piece, I'm working on a canvas. When I first started doing this canvas, I spray painted it. I used spray paint and acrylic. I used spray paint for the background color, as far as like to build it up, and I used to I used like some of the other Hopi colors that we do have, as far as like the turquoise, the yellow, the red, because you see a lot of those colors in Hopi art, not just in mine, but other artists as well, and also in the textiles as well, though too. This is one of my current pieces. It's called Prolonging. This one I have really thought about as far as Hopi and how we portray ourselves as being caretakers of the land and being able to experience it firsthand by taking part in my kiva and learning from my elders what's really important for my future. And this is how I kind of portrayed it, because in Hopi we really relate to the moisture, because that's what we pray for, because we're in northeastern Arizona, and the climate is very similar to here, and so when I would be out in the fields, I'd be thinking that, because I would have a shrine where I would go to pray to before where I would start to get working in my field and actually taking care of them, and those are some of the teachings that I put into this piece as well, because I relate to the moisture as life, because and we also have the headdress design as well, because it relates to moisture and it comes down to the plants, and the plants give us hope, they give us understanding, they give us plenty of opportunity to barter, to really be connected to it, because when I would be at my field, I would touch the corn, sing to them, and when in the early stages into harvesting now, I learned that we store it in similar ways as back then. They would use pottery, now we use kind of like metal trash cans. So that same kind of concept is still continuing to this day, and I really try to incorporate that essence into the pieces that I've done here at the SAR. The bridge is a metaphor that I thought of, and coming to my village of Walpi. My clan they originated from Walpi, but we moved to Sachomavi because of certain situations that we had. But Walpi is the primary energy that I feel from it, because when I go out there, when I participate, and when I help out with the ceremonies, helping out my kiva, I see those essence back then. When I look into those photos, like you see the photos of Hopis like around their mesas. You see like the background. You see like the mountains, and that's what I really think about when I'm at home. Because like when I walk to my kiva, like I see the sunset and I see the peaks, and that's and I see those two connections, and I put it so where I can understand it and where I can put it in the art as well. So when I talk about it, the people can really get a real sense of what it's really meant for, And so I put those teachings in there, and right here we have the on the shrine. It's called a Hoki. Um, that's where we put that's where we put our pahos. That's where we put our prayers. And because when you're at that particular spot, you pray for your family. You pray for what you want in life, and you pray for the future. And that's what I incorporated into that, as far as that teaching, and also having the peaks, as well as being a spiritual place, as where the kachinas rest, and and they and where they stay. And that's what I feel that's really important to me, because I go on that mountain, and I pray on that mountain, and I connect to it in a sense where I feel that energy. I feel that they're there. I feel that they are watching me, guiding me. And so I kind of incorporate that into the piece. And also having our son, our Dawa, as the main focal point, because without him, we would have none of our stuff, none of our traditions, none of our culture. And so I use him as a powerful statement, because he's the ultimate of our creator. And so I put that, as I put him as far as being the center and the top, kind of relating back to the constellations, the stars, as our ancestors would look at at the sky, determining what ceremony is going to proceed, which migration route shall we go. And so I kind of incorporated those types of influences into the art. And as far as the design, the colors, I really try to use those colors to make it all flow, to make it all positive, because I put a lot of good energy into these pieces, and they really do show, and people can relate to them. This one's Serenity. This one's my first piece I actually done here at the SAR. When I was doing this piece, I was kind of thinking about what it really means to be Hopi, because we see a lot of Hopi designs, a lot of symbolism in here, and we had the water serpent. The water serpent, he's a spiritual kachina. He's really important as far as regarding the water, because that's his domain, that's his aura. And when I was thinking about this, trying to incorporate him, because I incorporated him to be a protector of water, a protector of elements, because during these times when we and hopefully we have our ceremonies, the snake dance, and it was this year, and so I try to think I'm thinking of that, and because that ceremony only happens every few years, and so it was this year of my fellowship, and so I decided to put him in, to incorporate him, because I believe that he's a power. His power is really for the greater good, and I feel that his essence, and actually being able to see it personally in ceremonial perspective, it's a really powerful, because when you see him, when I saw it, I felt that energy of my ancestors, because that kachina was an older kachina, and we used it in a ceremony, because during the ceremonies with him, all the people who are taking part, they fast for at least 4 days, And fasting for 4 days, it kind of clears the mind, clears the body, clears the soul. Because when you're doing that type of ceremony with that kachina, you can't have any bad influences, bad thoughts, or you can't go against the grain, because that will always come back to you, not just on yourself but your family. And so by fasting, you kind of purify yourself to be prepared for that ceremony. And so that's why I kind of really incorporate him, because he's a really powerful essence that I've been able to understand and see firsthand. And so we have a lot of symbols. The friendship symbol, it represents prosperity, love, harmony, to be humble. Because I use that in a lot of my art, because I feel that way, because I feel humble, and I feel like my energy is positive, because my aura is profound. It's like something you wouldn't never imagine. So I really incorporate that, my essence and my spirituality, into this piece. Okay. And thank you very much. Kokoi, I really thank you guys for being here tonight, and thank you for the SAR else as well. Kokoi.